Welcome, everybody, to episode 29. Episode 29
Wow.
of Planet
There we
Film.
go. Jesus Christ.
That's right. We have been doing this for 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah, it's
What are
crazy.
you talking about?
No, we have been doing this for a bit. Almost, we're coming up on a year in a few months. Yikes.
You're freaking out for me. Well, you were. I Discord.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
good now. That was weird though.
Your Discord's lagging.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Talk
hopefully
again?
Hello? Hopefully it fixes itself. Maybe.
I don't know. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Boop.
On YouTube, is it bad? Oh, on YouTube it looks fine. TJ froze for a second. Well, that's what you get when you have a Spectrum. Ugh, God. What garbage.
Okay.
Hello.
All right, we should be
All
good.
right.
Hello.
What
Hello,
a piece
hello,
of garbage.
hello. Welcome, everyone. So, today we are going to be... What was that? A giant snowplow, I think, just went down my street and made a lot of noise.
that happened.
Okay. All right. So, after those technical
Great start.
hiccups... Yeah. You know what? Let's just start again. No, I'm just kidding. So, with that... We're kind of doing, we've ended up with kind of a old style show here today, because we are doing a review. We wanted to do a review, which we're actually doing a little bit of a special thing with today's review. We might be doing a little review, well, we are doing a little review series, which we will discuss in a little bit. But because we just decided to build the show around the review, we just kind of ended up throwing more and more news in, so it's kind of an old school season 1 Planet Film episode.
Actually, real quick, before we get into anything. So I think I'm going to do what I was going to do yesterday, but then my internet just decided to stop working. So I'm actually going to do a quick little things review. But first, actually, I just want to ask your opinion. Who do you think is winning the Super Bowl? Do you have any idea?
The Bills, definitely.
Okay, well, the Bills aren't in it, but if you had to go with the Chiefs or the Buccaneers, I almost said Patriots. Who are you taking? Chiefs? Bucks?
Do you root for the team that knocked the Bills out, or do you root for Tom Brady?
I don't know. I'm going my gut and saying the Chiefs. I'm not really rooting for either.
I'm going to say...
Danielle says Chiefs.
I'm going to say the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'm going to say the Chiefs, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to give my quick review, and then we'll say what we have coming up next week. Then we'll get to the news real quick.
Very exciting next week.
Okay. This past week, I watched The Little Things on HBO Max. First of all, I realized that I guess it was written in about like 30 years ago, and it just didn't get made ever until now. Directed by John Lee Hancock, who did The Founder, The Blind Side, Saving Mr. Banks, The Highwaymen. Did you see that? I heard it wasn't very good.
Really?
Yeah, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto, your favorite actor. I know you're a big Leto fan. I think after I watched this, I immediately told Sean, it's a good thing you did not watch this, and it's a good thing we're not reviewing it, because you would have hated it. Basically, like, Denzel is like this... he's a sheriff's deputy in somewhere else, but he used to be like this detective in the city now that where Rami Malek is working. Danielle, chat is empty tonight. I don't know where everybody's at. And so basically, Denzel has to go retrieve some evidence for this case, and he has to go back to his old stomping ground, right? And then he runs into Rami Malek, who's this upstart, upstart detective. He's very new, and basically they're trying to track down the serial killer, who is Jared Leto. The movie is just basically like a bad Seven. If you like Seven, don't watch this.
If you like Seven, watch Seven.
Yeah, watch Seven. It's like there's points where like it tries to be like Seven. Oh, the 7 deadly sins. Like there's multiple times where they reference God and stuff like that, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Leto is just ridiculous. Like he's not scary at all. Like Kevin Spacey was scary. Like even though you don't see Kevin Spacey in Seven till like the last like third, he's still menacing the way he like does his killings and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Jared Leto just like he doesn't scare you at all. Like this one point, Rami Malek's on the phone and Jared Leto's in his apartment, like in his house, and it just like Rami Malek picks it up. He's like, "Hello, hello," and then he's standing outside a payphone, and you just hear "boo," and it's Jared Leto just right there. And it's not. It's like Rami Malek. I think I'm out on him after this movie.
Completely, really.
I don't.
Well,
okay.
I'll say
He
this:
might have just had.
Bohemian Rhapsody didn't get me very much into him. So
Yeah, he might have had a bad one. You can't buy him as his character. He just doesn't. He just doesn't fit some young, strapping, overconfident person. He at a lot of the time I felt like he was struggling. I apologize if he has like he has like a speech impediment or something, but like it seemed like a lot of time he was like struggling to say the words.
I feel like he might. I don't know.
I feel like that's just how he talks.
Yeah.
So I apologize if he has like a speech impediment or something. Denzel was fine. Again, the writing in general was nothing to write home about.
Hey,
Yeah.
got him.
Basically, to end it. I did also a quick write up on Letterboxd, so check that out if you want to. But in the end, if you want to watch Seven, just watch Seven. Don't watch this. Basically, that's all I got.
There you go. Just 1 second. Hoping. Okay.
He does have a speech. Oh well, I do apologize. Then I am sorry.
Well, hey, I mean, it's not like you were knocking on the guy like personally.
No,
it's
yeah,
It was just something you noticed in the performance. I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing you could really do about it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about next week. So next week we have a bit of a special show. So as you see this week, we are reviewing the Sidney Lumet directed film Dog Day Afternoon, starring Al Pacino as well as many other great actors. But we are going to be doing something a little bit special. We're going to be doing a, TJ, would you call it a review series? A review mini-series?
Sure, yeah, if you want to call it
whatever you want to call it that. Whatever you guys want to call it, that's what we're doing. So we are going to be going through not all 50. He did a nice round number.
Only 50? That's it?
A nice round off number, but we are going to be revisiting some Sidney Lumet classics on the channel, on the show. So for the next few weeks, we are going to be doing reviews of Sidney Lumet films, beginning this week with Dog Day Afternoon, but next week will be the second part in the series. We're going to be reviewing the classic Network. Very current with everything that's happening today in today's media. I'd say probably more current than ever, probably with that movie, especially with the yelling out of the windows.
That movie I started. I think it was like I was living at home, so it was like at least a year ago, and I started it, but I think I started at 1 a.m. It's when it was on Netflix.
Okay.
And I just never finished it. I think I got through like the first 10 minutes, and I was like, I'm falling asleep.
Wow.
But yeah, so I've never seen it.
Well, good. Yeah, then you can revisit it and get into it. You know what I mean, when you're more awake. But big announcement for next week: reviewing Network with us is friend of the show, Jay Scott for real. Jay Scotty is going to be not in the house, but in the digital house with us. He is going to be in the digital house with us. It's very exciting. It is our first guest that, is not a close personal friend of the show. Obviously, we had Brandon way back in the day, Danielle a little bit more recently. Both of those are really great episodes, actually, especially the Danielle one. We did a very fun review for that one. I think there was just a good vibe I think we have, a good conversational vibe on all of our shows, so
Yeah.
it really lends itself to having a third person, chime in, not every week, but every once in a while. And we just got to find the right kind of shows and stuff and the right timing, and we could bring in more people. But yeah, it's very exciting for us. As we've talked about before, Jay Scotty is going to be God, I just completely went off the rails in my brain. He is going to be joining us for the network review and for the entire show too. I was wanting to make sure with him that he was, all good to find. Who's this? We got a new person, TC316. Welcome.
That's literally my YouTube channel. That's my like regular YouTube channel that I use to just like watch videos. So I think it's Danielle typing from the Fire Stick.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind.
I was very confused for a second.
I was like, TC316. Why does it look familiar? Well, welcome TJ to the chat, and welcome Danielle again.
Oh, it's not Danielle? No, it's definitely her. There's no way.
She's.
If
Okay,
it's not her, then I don't know. It's not my mom. She's in my YouTube channel.
You got a ghost. What's it called? So yeah, I was a little bit worried with the scheduling, but he said Tuesdays work great for him, so he's going to be able to join us live for the entire show, which is going to be really fun.
I'm using my phone.
Oh,
how though?
I don't know. Little surprise.
Okay, whatever. Just keep going.
Little surprise.
Very confused.
Maybe it's your uncle. I don't know.
I don't know.
A little surprise Danielle guest appearance there. But let's go ahead and get on with the show. We're kind of going a little bit off the rails, but that's okay. It's a Wednesday. We got Wednesday vibes in here. It's very weird. It's all new. And then also, by the way, the studio is still happening for those who have been wondering. I am feeling a lot better. I've gotten my first set of COVID tests back, came back negative. Right now, just, tomorrow is the end of our quarantine. So really? I don't go back to, because it's 10 days, not 14 now.
Okay.
From the CDC.
Was she sick though? Isn't she still sick?
No, not anymore. She's feeling a lot better. And so we're waiting on just our last round of tests that we did to come back, which should probably be back tomorrow. And then, we both go back to work at the beginning of next week, which will be nice to get back to some normalcy with the schedule. All right, so let's go ahead and get right in. What topic do you want to start with? Do you want to start with?
I think I'll actually go through some of the nominations real quick.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with the nominations.
Yeah, so real quick, I just wanted to go through like some of the Golden Globe Award nominations that I think came out today. And maybe some people who got snubbed and some people we think deserve to be in. The first one I would like to say is the best motion picture for a drama. Most of these movies I haven't seen, nor do I like Promising Young Woman. I know Danielle saw. She said it was really good. I still have yet to rent it at some point. I have to do that. But like Nomadland and The Father aren't even available to like stream yet.
Yeah.
So I have no insight on those.
Nomadland will be on Hulu? Yeah, soon, right? February 11th or something?
Something like that. Yeah. And then The Father comes out like I think like wide release like February 28th or something.
What is that one?
The Father, it's Anthony Hopkins. He plays like
and Olivia Colman.
Does he have Alzheimer's? I think like the woman's grandfather has Alzheimer's or something.
Yeah.
So it's The Father, Mank, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, and Trial of Chicago 7. So out of these 5, I can say the film that I feel like doesn't belong, honestly, is Mank. I don't know if you saw it.
Did you watch it? No, I have not watched it yet. I actually completely forgot about it. I want to watch it though. What are your thoughts?
I watched it probably like last month. A month or two ago. It's like if you love Citizen Kane, you'll love Mank. Like Mank, it's like a good movie. I know Gary Oldman's also. To you?
What? I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. So
okay, yeah.
And even at the end, I was like,
right?
Even at the end, I was like, I don't get it. But
we'll get there.
Gary Oldman's good in it. Amanda Seyfried's good in it. Oh my God, I always say his name. Who's they're not Targaryen. Peter Dinklage's dad, Tyrion's dad.
Oh, Charles Dance.
Charles Dance, he's
Yeah.
good in it. He plays Hearst, I think, William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
I believe. They're all good in it. Like I know Gary Oldman's nominated, I think, for best performance by an actor in a drama.
Mhm.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything that's like over the like he
It's,
doesn't
like,
do
crazy?
anything crazy.
It's
Yeah,
no,
like he's just he's Gary Oldman.
Oh God, what is it called? It's no Darkest Hours?
Darkest Hour.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Darkest Hour.
I haven't
okay.
seen that.
That was a stretch to remember the name of that movie, and it literally just
Yeah.
came out like 2 years ago.
So in my opinion, that I don't know what I would replace it with, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really think it belonged there.
I mean, it's a tough year. I mean, I'm not saying
yeah.
it's a tough year like, oh man, it's really packed. It's not packed. It's like it's a tough year like you're right. Like what you just said. I don't really know what I would replace it with. You know what I mean? I can't really think of anything that would be on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know.
Pieces of a Woman. I also want to watch that. That comes out, I think, this week on Netflix. I could be wrong. Oh, also Malcolm Murray comes out this week on Netflix. So
Oh yeah, true. We might be reviewing that after. Maybe that'll be our first review in studio.
could be. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, because the Sidney Lumet thing, it's not going to be every week. It's just going to be we're just going to be doing it kind of loosely, going through some of his movies. So
Yeah.
we might do that in a couple weeks.
So next one I kind of want to touch on is best
Jared
motion
Leto for
picture
the
musical,
Little Things?
No, musical or comedy. So we have Borat, subsequent movie film, Hamilton, music. I guess that's just what it's called, music. I never heard of it. Palm Springs and The Prom. So I haven't seen The Prom.
sorry.
I've heard it's not great.
There we go. If you're looking up the nominations, don't go to Variety. The order on this is crazy. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm just on the Golden
found
Globe
it.
website.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch.
The Prom, I've heard, is not great.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently, James Corden nominated for The Prom. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. If I would, again, what would I replace it with? Not really sure, because Hamilton's already on the list, and so is Palm Springs. So, Borat, while it's nominated, I don't think it'll win. If I had to guess, this is probably going to go to Hamilton. I hope it'd go to Palm Springs. Cause Palm
Really?
Springs
You
is
think
also
it?
very good.
You know
Over-
what? Yeah.
Over these four? It definitely.
No,
go to
I
Hamilton.
would think it. Man, I don't
That's
know.
a very good question.
I don't know what to
Why
say.
are musical and comedy in the same category? Exactly.
Because it's not drama. It's just they just combine them. It's like it's so
basically.
dumb. Which is like I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure I could look it up. I don't really want to. It's just like so, think back to 2012, a movie like Les Mis. Would that have been in drama or a musical or comedy? It belongs in drama. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? I don't know. I think you might be right. I wasn't thinking more of what I think would win, more of what I was thinking I would want to win.
Yeah.
I want Palm Springs to win. That if you want to, you could go back and watch our Planet Film review of Palm Springs. Spoiler alert: we both really liked it. It's a very good movie. But I think you might be right. I think it might be Hamilton.
Apparently, The Croods: A New Age is nominated for Best Motion Picture Animated. Don't know how that happened.
Wow.
I guess it's short on animated movies.
I mean, we know what's going to win this category. It's gonna be
Soul.
Wolfwalkers.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's gonna be Soul.
yeah.
Wolfwalkers, I heard, is really good though on HBO Max.
You know, it's a great
and
movie
then-
that I'll just give a
yeah.
little shout out to. Disney Plus. Togo.
You weren't joking about Jared Leto. I thought you were.
No, I was not joking.
I thought you were kidding.
I was not joking. No.
Oh my god, how did he get out of this? Ugh. I
Oh
thought you were
man.
kidding.
No, I'm
Oh
not.
my god, who would I replace Jared Leto with? Literally anybody. Charles Dance probably. I just throw on here instead of Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Jared Leto is just so weird in the like. Oh my god, it's like one of those things where it's like maybe he sent a dead rat to Rami Malek's trailer while they were filming this. I don't know, to try to get into character.
Did you see that he
yeah.
said about Morbius? He said it was tough for me to play Morbius because I don't normally play things that are so close to myself. What?
He's a vampire.
Yeah,
right?
what are
Isn't
you
Morbius a
talking about?
vampire?
Hey, you a vampire? Like what?
Okay.
Do you work with Michael
yeah,
Keaton?
I don't know. That's
Oh,
whack.
that's what I wanted to say though about that. I just said Michael Keaton to remind me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really disappointed in your review of The Little Things. That director is has directed two of my all-time favorite movies with The Founder and Saving Mr. Banks.
Founder's good. I've never seen Save Mr. Banks.
Oh, Saving Mr. Banks is... Don't even get me started. That movie
Tom Hanks plays like Walt Disney, right?
Yeah, that movie is my top 10 of all time. That movie is amazing. I shouldn't say I'm not disappointed in your review. I'm disappointed.
No, I know what you
I'm
mean.
disappointed in
Yeah.
the director. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know.
Do you want to cover performances?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say if you want to, I'll touch on TV real quick.
Oh crap! I forgot it's the Golden Globe. Yeah.
So best television series. Oh wait, no, sorry. Best. Where'd it go? Best television series. Oh, there it is. Drama. So The Crown, which me and Danielle actually started watching. We're only
really?
5 episodes in. Yeah.
Of season 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country, which I wanted to watch, I haven't watched. Mandalorian.
Never heard of it.
Ozark, which is your favorite. And
I don't know, man.
Ratched. Oh, which is that Sarah Paulson,
it's-
Cuckoo's Nest spin-off type thing, right?
That has no business being in this category.
Yeah.
I would
what
say-
I think will win
Oh man.
is Ozark. I think Ozark will win because how much you've praised it, but I could be wrong. I don't know about you.
I don't know, bro. I would say... I don't know, because Lovecraft Country has a really big following, but that's so out there. I'm honestly surprised the Golden Globes even nominated it, because that's another thing that we should touch on, is that this is, again, I mean, there's a lot of female representation, but there is not much minority representation in the nominations, again, for years ago. And obviously, for anybody who is watching this on the replay, or I hope there's no one in chat that feels this way, but obviously Chadwick Boseman is nominated. Yes, there are people of color nominated, but there was the amount of colored, you know what I mean, not colored, but the amount of people of color, performers and actors and directors that put out great work this year is not represented in the nominations at all. There is so much TV, there's so many movies, all that stuff that should have been on here that was just completely snubbed. So I would be very surprised if they gave it to Lovecraft Country, but there are a lot of people that I know that are I have not seen it because that was back in the days where HBO Max was public enemy number one. But I would say that could be the upset one that the Golden Globes could surprise people and give it to that. I would say other than that, maybe, man, this is so tough. I don't know. Because I would want it to be Ozark, but it could be The Crown because I think this is the best season of The Crown yet that was this past one. And honestly, I think it could be Mando. I genuinely think Mando has a chance. I think Mando's got a better chance this year.
We're not giving it to a Star Wars show. Are you serious? We can't do that. I could be wrong though.
But
I don't see it going to. I don't know. I don't see it going to Mando. And then maybe I'll touch on one more. I don't want to go too long.
Josh. Oh wow.
What?
Josh O'Connor was nominated for The Crown.
Is that? Oh, Bob Odenkirk. Perfect. Give it to him.
Oh yeah, I mean it's got to be Bob Odenkirk. I mean Jason Bateman. Ozark is ending next season. Give it to Jason Bateman then. But then again, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul is ending next season. So
as well.
So that's kind of a toss up. But I would say Bob Odenkirk needs it. Al Pacino, yeah. It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? I think I'll just end it there because a lot of these shows I just haven't seen.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movies on here just aren't available yet for public consumption.
I will say this right now. I know it swept the Emmys like crazy last year,
Mm-hmm.
but it being the last season, Schitt's Creek needs to sweep again this year because that show is one of the funniest shows I've
Did you
ever.
finish it or did you just start it?
No, bro, I watched it in like a week.
Oh, right. You did
Yeah,
say
I
that.
watched.
That's what you did
Well, yeah,
say.
I watched it like while we were moving in. I watched it in like
Gotcha.
September, like the end of September, beginning of October. That thing, the last season was incredible. So yeah, I would like to see that sweep again. I know it did last year, and I know that that's maybe not fair to the other things, but it deserves it. It completely deserves it. I mean, it doesn't even come close to the other things that are nominated in TV, musical, or comedy. But yeah, that's kind of us touching on the Golden Globes there. So if you want to see more, you can look up the nominations. And then, of course, when the Golden Globes actually happen, we'll obviously break down, all the big winners and losers of that night when the time comes. All right, so next up, we can talk real quick about the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut has, obviously,
Lord.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, whatever they're calling it, the Snyder Cut or Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't know what the official title is, but it has officially been said that it is. Well, there's a couple things this week. It was officially confirmed that it's not going to be a miniseries. It will be a 4-hour movie. It was officially confirmed by Zack Snyder that it's completely done. The whole thing's done. It's all edited. It's all put together. And then just today, it was officially confirmed by the MPAA that it is going to be rated R, and it is rated R for what was it rated R for?
Language
and violence, right?
Violence.
Yeah,
It's got to be pretty gruesome to be language and violence, doesn't it? Or am I wrong? Maybe threw like a lot of F-bombs in there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, that's our Snyder talk. Did
My
you
opinion,
want to say
real
anything?
quick.
Yeah,
quick
absolutely.
opinion. I think that's cool that it's rated R. Watchmen was rated R, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I think it would be cool. Will
Yeah.
it maybe drive off some people from watching it? Could be, but honestly, who cares? Because who cares? Like, it's his final DC project, probably. I'm gonna assume. I assume he would never come back after everything that's happened. I feel like he would be like, I'm not gonna come back and do another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm just excited to finally get to see it.
Same. All right. So then the next thing that we wanted to talk about is, well, the last thing before we get onto the review here is a brief talk of WandaVision. Yes, I know we do have Planet Hero, which we will be live this Saturday to discuss the latest episode when it comes out on Friday. So tune in Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. But Elizabeth Olsen and pretty much the whole cast have been making the interview rounds this week after this most recent episode. And she said in one of the interviews, because for those who don't know, Elizabeth Olsen is a very big Star Wars fan and a very big Mark Hamill fan. She said...
I actually did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a cool... there's like a video of her at the... Was it the Endgame premiere or the Civil War premiere? Mark Hamill was at the Civil War premiere, and there's a video of Elizabeth Olsen like seeing him, and then like literally she starts to cry, and then like goes up and like hugs him and stuff. But
That's
she said in an interview, she said that there is a surprise cameo appearance in WandaVision that is on par with Luke showing up in The Mandalorian. That's a big claim.
Wow.
So I don't know,
I don't know
if
who
that,
it could possibly be.
I don't know if that could live up to. Well, that's the question. Who do you think it could be? And we're going to send it to the chat as well. Everybody that's in chat, there are 7 of you right now. I see you. I can see you guys. I see all of you. I can't really see you, but I do see that there's 7 of you. Join in the chat and let us know who do you think the big cameo in WandaVision is going to be. TJ, do you know, or do you want me to?
If I had to guess, it has to be somebody huge.
Well, I mean, she's saying Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker level. Like that's
who would that be?
Yeah, like that would have to be like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Like that's
even
like
that you can't. Even that I don't think equates because you just saw him.
Yeah.
You just saw him like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, in Endgame. And I know he's said multiple times he's not coming back, even though he's going to be in Black Widow. But I guess that doesn't really count. Maybe, as Michelle was saying, Cap. It could be him. I kind of doubt it because, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, he's coming back," and he was like, "What are you talking about?" So maybe. But yeah, I can't think of anybody. Like, I think the one we've all assumed,
which is who I think it is,
would be it could be Doctor Strange, if that's who you're thinking of, or like Evan Peters as Quicksilver is not on that level or close.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. What if it's
I
like
don't think
Deadpool?
so.
What if it's like Ryan Reynolds?
That'd be okay. That'd be cool. It's not like Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill level, like
what
young
if it's like
prime Luke Skywalker, but that'd be cool.
I just okay. What if they go like real crazy, and what if we get like, because okay, this is what I think. I think that she's just kind of inflating it to be like, our show's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, no, exactly. Like, no offense to her or anything. I just mean,
Baby Groot.
I think you think it's gonna be Grogu.
No, Danielle said Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. Yeah. And then it throws the Baby Groot. I keep forgetting that we're getting a Baby Groot show. Yeah. I keep forgetting that that's real. Howard the Duck. There you go. What's it called? No, but I think it's probably just referring. Maybe maybe Evan Peters is the X-Men Quicksilver. Maybe he is really coming back to this universe, like coming over to this universe. That would fit with what she's saying. I think it's just going to be Doctor Strange. But what if it isn't? And what if it's something crazy? Like, what if they got either like Ian McKellen or Michael Fassbender to play her dad?
Oh, I've heard. I'd be fine if Ian McKellen showed up.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill coming back. Like, I'm thinking an actor returning to a role type thing.
Now, you're gonna say no because I know he said that he's done. He doesn't want to come back.
Hugh Jackman.
What? Yeah.
See, that's what he had crossed my mind, but I was like, it just doesn't kind of fit. Yeah. Then I was thinking of the X-Men who would fit, and I was like, what if, and if, I think it would be Fassbender, not McKellen, only because Fassbender obviously would have more legs to continue playing the character.
Right.
And because Ian McKellen had nothing to do with Evan Peters as Quicksilver. All four of those movies were all three of those movies with Quicksilver were will they, won't they, discover that they're father and son. You know what I mean? Like the two of them always had the back and forth in those three movies with never actually ending up telling each other that, that they were related. So I think if she's talking, Mark Hamill level, like a character returning from like, oh my God.
We gained a subscriber. Thank you. We're now at 40.
We're at 40?
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh my God, that's crazy! Woohoo!
We're blowing up out here.
Yeah, I know. I will say this to you guys. I sent TJ the screenshot. Our views, our watch hours are up 999%. Actually, with the greater than symbol, so they're up by over 1,000%. So our views are going up. I mean, it's a percentage. So I mean, it's going from like 5 to 50, but that's still an increase. You know what I mean? Still, like it's still a very big increase. So to those people who are watching our content and finding us on our own little corner of the YouTube space, subscribe, comment, follow us, get involved, be a part of the conversation. We are, as great friend of the show now, Jay Scotty, was nice enough to send out a tweet about us earlier today. We are very audience interactive, so be a part of the conversation, catch the show live, and welcome to anybody who is new. Join the chat, be part of the conversation. Obviously, I know if you guys are watching on a TV or something, it might be hard to chat, but pull it up on your phone or something. Chat, but pull it up on your phone or something. There's ways that you could do it. But that aside, that's crazy. 40. I was honestly, I was just thinking today when we hit 39, I was like, oh man, I want to tweet out something to make a cool graphic when we hit 40, but we just hit it in the middle of the show. So there we go. That's very exciting. Wow. Okay.
On to 50.
On to 50, honestly, yeah. I mean, we started this channel at 0. That's what I keep reminding myself, is that we started this channel with 0 views, 0 subscribers, 0 comments, 0 likes, 0 audience participation. So we're going to keep on pushing, and we're going to keep on going.
Keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you see this? Danielle says crossover episode to come because she wants in on this Sweet Planet Film audience. You know what I mean?
They're doing really well, too, her podcast.
Oh, my God. Rants on Fire.
Check out Rants on Fire.
Rants on Fire on all podcast platforms. They have just been skyrocketing in the audio listenership. So definitely listen. It's a different topic every single week. 2 great hosts kind of talking about that. And like Danielle just said, eventually we will get to a crossover episode with Rants on Fire. So that's what I would say.
What were you saying before I interrupted you? Sorry.
Oh, just, I just think if it was going to be somebody somebody really on that kind of scale, I would say it would have to be a big character and a big actor. So that's why I would say like Michael Fassbender, Magneto. But more likely, I think it's just Doctor Strange. I think she's just talking about Doctor Strange. I think he's just going to come in, 11th hour type thing, turn Agnes into butterflies or something. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, but something crazy like that. Throw her in a mirror dimension, open a pocket reality, drop a moon on her. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, awesome. Oh wow, very nice. They're making fun of our appearance.
I saw that, yeah.
All right. Well, get ready for the studio because we're gonna get even uglier. All right.
Yeah.
So, was there anything else? Did you want to touch on the AMC stuff a little bit?
Oh yeah, we could talk about that real quick.
I mean, we got time.
Yeah. I was looking. I was like, oh,
we're less than 40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I guess just all of last week, I want to say, it probably happened.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, GameStop and AMC and Nokia and maybe a few other stocks.
Yeah.
Last week, as a lot of people saw probably on Twitter or just in the news in general, that they just shot all the way up. So I think GameStop obviously the most. I think it went from trading probably like $2 or so to like $400, like ridiculous amounts of money. And then you had AMC kind of going from, I don't know, maybe $2 to like $13, $14, $15.
Blockbuster, that was the other one. I forgot about the
Blockbuster?
Yeah, that was another one. Yeah.
Is Blockbusters? They're not a company.
Yes. What do you mean they're not a company?
They don't still trade, do they? Is that a thing?
No, they're not supposed to. It was at like 15 cents and it went up to like $6.
Oh, so these like penny stocks, like some Wolf of Wall Street shit.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a meme of Jordan. I say Jordan Belfort, like Leo from the movie, and he was like, it's this great little movie theater company out of Kansas City. They don't have a lot of theaters right now, but believe me, you're saying it was like this whole thing about getting in on AMC
Can I
at the
just
ground
say one
floor.
thing? Like one thing about that movie, like I feel like it gets like if it's my favorite movie. Like if you. Like a lot of people would be like, well, if that's your favorite movie, then you're just like, it's like you don't get it. It's like, no, I get it. Like, obviously, it's like this isn't cool to steal from millions of people. It amazes me how like he's obviously not in jail or anything anymore, and he stole from millions of people. And yeah, he's just on CNN. Like he's just like it just amazes me how like the justice system works, like for stuff like that. Like what
the person we're going to talk about today. Didn't even live out the rest of their life in jail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Granted, I don't think he should have, but...
Sorry, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So basically what happened was a subreddit called Wall Street Bets. They saw that these hedge funds were shorting the stock of AMC, GameStop, etc. So basically what I Googled it, because I've heard of what like shorting stock, but I never knew like how you like do it. Mm-hmm. So basically what it is you borrow shares of a company, which I didn't know you could do. I didn't know you could borrow shares. Apparently you can. So you borrow shares, you sell them at a price, the price that it's currently when you sell them. So say it's, GameStop's $2. So you sell all this stocks at $2, all those shares, and you're betting that it's going to go lower. So say it drops down to 120. You sell it at you buy it back at 120, the shares you sold, and you pocket the difference. So you made 80 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Following me? And then you give the shares back to the person you borrowed them from.
Yeah.
But so what this subreddit found is that basically if they could just drive the price up of these stocks, that these hedge funds would lose billions of dollars because they have all this money invested. Yeah, Planet Stocks, exactly, Danielle.
Planet
they have
Stocks.
all this money invested in these dying companies. Sorry, AMC. I know you work there right now, but it was really low there for a minute. So basically, the subreddit was like, screw these people, screw the rich, eat the rich, as they say, and we're just gonna drive these stocks. And the fact that GameStop, my mom asked me this. She was like, "Oh, did you happen to have any GameStop stock?" I was like, "If I literally had invested $500, I'd be able to pay off my loans in like one go.
Oh yeah.
Pay my car, I pay my
Bro,
student
you'd be able
loans.
to pay a lot more than your student loans. Yeah.
No, I know. I was like, because remember when I had the AMC, I didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's gonna go up, and you
Yeah.
guys were like, just sell it. And I was like, okay, and I sold it. But we actually do have a friend.
We cost you millions.
We have a friend who has had money in GameStop. Apparently, I don't know where he had the foresight to do that.
Oh, really? Was he on the
yeah,
subreddit?
you know him. No, you know him.
Who is it? Oh.
It's Brandon's brother.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And he apparently went way up for him. I don't know what he did, if he sold it or anything.
Yeah.
And I guess so. Basically, how this circles back to AMC is AMC had already secured, I guess, a line of credit to secure them for a little bit longer, and I guess them getting their stock driven up basically saved them for the entire year.
Yeah.
So now they're operating through 2020, 2021, I guess. So that's good news.
Yeah. And
but
we were
yeah.
talking a month ago, like January 6th might be the end of the company.
Yeah, I do remember
Like,
them saying that they were going to file for bankruptcy or something.
Yeah.
But I just like to say that I thought it was ridiculous that Robinhood, the trading app, that I used it for probably like a few months, but then I got rid of it because I heard it was kind of that they basically stopped allowing people to buy GameStop or AMC, or I think it was just GameStop, and you could only sell it, which again is you're stopping the bleeding for these millionaires of these hedge funds. And and of course Robinhood is owned by a hedge fund company apparently. So again, obviously that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's like illegal and they should be arrested, and the app should not even be a thing anymore in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I know
yeah.
people are saying like that, like the subreddit driving the stock up is illegal, but you also can't, if it's a free market, you can't restrict the market and let it play by, like, the subreddit's playing the hedge fund's game, but as soon as the subreddit starts beating the hedge fund at their own game, they're like, well, no.
Yeah.
It's like when people say, well, why don't you invest your money? And you invested this way, and they go, well, not like that.
No, exactly. Yeah. Like,
it's like, what?
I saw a great tweet, and it was like hedge fund broker, and then it said like colon. I lost $3 million. My wife left me. She took the kids. They took my house, and it said millennial Reddit user colon. Have you tried budgeting?
Yeah.
And it's like exactly like
Yeah.
I just think back to the oh my god. And I mean, I know she's a Democrat, but I'm not like down with Nancy Pelosi, but like when the whole $600 thing.
Yeah.
She literally got up on a microphone and said, it is a good amount of money if you make it last
What?
and you spend it the right way. And I was like, what
Give me a
the
break.
fuck? Like, she was like, it's not insignificant. And I was like, $600 is not even half of
You
what
could argue
my
that $2,000 is insignificant.
$2,000 is insignificant.
Okay, yeah. I mean, okay, yes. If you don't have a job, like if you're not working currently, it's
Yeah.
insignificant. It's like, okay, that pays for a month of rent,
That would literally take care
And
of 2 months of
a
our
week
rent.
of food.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
would literally take care of 2 months of our rent and not
Yeah.
even touch any of the utilities. Like all the
Yeah.
utilities we would still have to pay for. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
But
I
to
just- yeah,
to
it's
circle
crazy.
the whole AMC. There's two movie aspects of this: the AMC stock aspect, and also because Hollywood is going to Hollywood. We already have 2 movies and 1 Netflix series in the works.
That. Noah Centineo was casted in one of them. I believe.
I saw that. Yeah, he is in the Netflix show.
Okay.
So the Netflix show, I think they said, is going to be an anthology series about kind of Big Short style, I guess,
Okay.
about different people that interacted with it, maybe people that caused it, maybe people that benefited, people that, what's the opposite of benefiting? Lost
Didn't
millions
benefit.
of dollars.
Lost.
The terrible people that lost money. And then there's another movie at MGM, which, MGM's just trying to do anything to survive. MGM's like, why didn't you do it for the MGM stock? Hello.
Yeah.
Maybe let No Time to Die sit on a shelf a little bit longer before you bankrupt the studio. God damn it, James Bond.
Oh, my Lord.
And theirs is going to be focusing on the Reddit aspect, and it's going to be called The Anti-Social Network, which is like most original title of the year,
Shut
guys. Exactly. Exactly. Shut up. And
it's
then
not even over yet. That's the thing.
No,
Like,
exactly.
It's
and then Sony is working on one of them too. That one doesn't really have much information out. But because Hollywood's going to Hollywood, there's already so much in the works. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our first in our Sidney Lumet series here, Dog Day Afternoon. So like we do on all of these reviews, TJ is going to go ahead and start us off with the IMDb information. And actually, for this one, I will pull up the box office.
Wow. All right. So Dog Day Afternoon came out in 1975. And I'd just like to point out, before I get to Al Pacino went on a run of just fantastic films.
Fantastic films and even better performances.
Yeah, so he went from 2 of these movies I haven't seen. So he went from The Godfather in 72 to Scarecrow, which Metacritic score says it's good, in 73, to Serpico in 73, to Godfather Part 2 in 74, and then Dog Day Afternoon in 75. What, like, that's just like, that's a run and a half.
You know what's crazy to me is that
what?
this movie came out after The Godfather.
Yeah, I know, right? It's weird. So 2 hours 5 minutes, rated R, biography, crime, drama, came out on Christmas apparently. So description says 3 amateur bank robbers plan to hold up a bank. A nice simple robbery. Walk in, take the money, and run. Unfortunately, the supposedly uncomplicated heist suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare as everything that could go wrong does. I don't know why I read that so oddly. I just don't think I was really paying attention to the punctuation. Directed by Sidney Lumet, written by Frank Pearson, screenplay P.F. Klug, I believe it is, based upon a magazine article by P.F. Klug, and Leslie Waller, book uncredited. So basically, I think the heavy hitters in this movie, because a lot of these people I don't. Well, I don't even have these. You're gonna have to enlighten me then, because the only people I know of are Al Pacino and John Cazale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
so if you can enlighten me,
hang on, I'm just pulling it up here.
Okay.
I mean, they're heavy hitters in a sense. Like, they're not like household names like those two.
Yeah.
But like, you have, let me see here. Yeah, like you have like Carol Kane, who's like a big, she was a big comedian back then, playing one of the girls, Jenny. Then obviously James Broderick playing Sheldon, who's the main FBI agent. And then Charles Durning was a big star too, playing the main detective or whatever he was, detective or police captain.
Moretti.
Moretti.
Yeah.
And then you have Chris Sarandon playing Leon too, who is big, and he was in The Princess Bride. And he's just he's a very big actor too. So I mean, other than that, yeah, it's really those kind of handful of big people, and then the rest of the cast is kind of filled out by a lot of great, realistic performances, I would say. And then also Lance Hendrickson too is in it as Murphy. Lance Hendrickson from Alien and Aliens and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Rest in peace to quick to John Cazale.
Oh, yeah.
He only has 8 credits to his name. I think he passed away in 78 in New York City. I think he had Meryl Streep by his side, if I remember correctly. I think Danielle told me that actually at one point, which I was like, oh, that's crazy. But again, he also had nothing in his short career. He had nothing but hits. He had Godfather Conversation, Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon, and The Deer Hunter. Then he also starred on NYPD and The American Way, which was a short. But I just like he's one of those like actors that like he was gonna go on to be like big. I think like he would be I thought he'd be like
he
Al
would be in The
Pacino,
Irishman.
Like, yeah, like he'd be in The Irishman with
Yeah.
De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino.
Absolutely. I think
but
maybe
it-
if Cazale lives, maybe Pesci
Yeah.
doesn't even get as big as he
Yeah.
does. Because
He's
I think
pretty
he
subdued
would
it.
take those. Oh, in this movie, absolutely.
In this film, he's so like Pacino does the heavy lifting, like
absolutely.
by far.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
So
there
do
are
you want to
some-
give us the box office?
Yeah,
Whatever?
I'll just say really quick with the character of Sal in this, played by Johnny Cazale. There are some really kind of dark things that he is actually saying, and if you kind of watch the movie for Sal's mindset, there's some really dark kind of Vietnam stuff and war stuff going there. Like at one point he says like did not to jump ahead a little bit, but just before I forget to mention this, because this is something that I have seen this movie before. This is another thing too, is this is kind of the first time me and TJ are reviewing a movie that we've both seen before. But we don't know each other's thoughts really on it. There's one point where, Pacino, just kind of empty threading, says, I'm going to start, bringing these bodies out one by one, if you don't help us. And Sal kind of looks at me and goes, "Did you really mean what you said?" And he was like, "Well, I want them, to think that that's what I meant." And he was like, "No, but what do you think? Because I'm ready." And it's like you can tell that it's like something that happened to him in war. Like he's going into that mindset. You know what I mean? That he's like mentally, like he's psyching himself up, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready. So let me know." And like
So
he
are we
like
doing
won't,
this or what? Yeah.
yeah, like the whole rest of the movie after that point, he won't let go of his gun. He won't stop aiming it at people. Like especially the whole last scene. That's where he really shines. This is the last scene that we will talk about. But yeah, sorry, just great performance by him, and terrible that he died so ridiculously young and so early into his career. The box office is kind of vague on this, but it made a killing, pun intended.
Oh, really?
So Dog Day Afternoon had a reported budget of between $3 and $3.4 million, and it made, but again, it's kind of fuzzy. They don't have the exact numbers. It made between 50 and 56 million.
Wow.
So it made a profit of, no matter how you look at it, probably a profit of at least $50 million. And that in today's money is a box office return of $270 million. So this movie made
Wow.
If it was released today, it would have been a tiny, A24 independent movie.
Yeah.
And if it had the same kind of audience and the same kind of ticket sales, it would have turned $250 million.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. So obviously low numbers, but when you have a budget that is that dirt cheap, you have a lot of room to make a lot of profit. And I can't imagine the marketing budget was anything crazy on this for 1975. All right, so you want to go ahead and get into the actual review here? You want to start with your initial thoughts?
Let's do it. So I think this film is fantastic. As you touched on, as you mentioned, it kind of touches on a bunch of different subjects, not just veterans coming home from the Vietnam War, but also homosexuality
and police brutality too.
And police brutality, exactly. Which again, I wasn't around, and which again, this is based off a true thing. Like this actually happened. It says it right in the beginning. Like this is the actual bank robbery that actually happened. In
And the poster too.
71.
Yeah, I think so.
It was.
Yeah.
Which again, I wasn't around back then. I'm assuming, again, no, they weren't as progressive back then as they are now, and even now, it's still, not the easiest to come out or anything like that. Again, so it talks about that and everything. Like I said earlier, Pacino is obviously he's the star of this movie. You go to this movie to see Al Pacino, but he is so like off the wall, like what you want Al Pacino to be in a film. This is exactly what he is in this movie. He's
on fire from minute one.
Exactly. I probably compare it to him. I haven't seen many Al Pacino movies, in all honesty, probably. Like I've seen Godfather, Irishman, obviously, Heat. This I would compare, from what I've seen, I would compare it to him in Heat, where he's kind of this crazy, bombastic, character. Daniel, what?
Nothing. We can do it. We can do it right after you just finish.
Okay.
But I completely forgot. It's in the thumbnail and everything. Did you want to touch on Rhodey being in Falcon and Winter Soldier really quick? Sorry, somebody just messaged me.
Yeah, I'll go say it after this,
Yeah,
or we can touch on it after the review. We'll do it. After
You'll just do it at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. He's great in the film. John Cazale, like I said, is really good, but he's more subdued. He's more subdued, I feel like, in everything I've seen him in. He's honestly like he brings like a weight almost. His character is very quiet compared to Al Pacino. The bank manager is great. The FBI, I don't know. I just probably wasn't a fan of the character Sheldon. James Broderick I thought was good. Charles Durning was great. All the bank tellers in the bank.
Oh, amazing! Sylvia. Like she is so amazing.
I loved the camaraderie almost that like came from this, because obviously Al Pacino and John Cazale's characters are going in there thinking, we'll be out of here in 5 minutes tops, and they end up being like the poster says they're in there 8 hours plus.
Yeah.
And it's just a never-ending bank robbery.
Let me pull up the poster. Basically. I just want to read what it says because it's got an amazing poster.
Yeah, it does.
Let me just see here. I wish this poster was the one in HBO Max, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's some like it's just like the two of them standing there. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, on HBO Max, it's just Sonny and Sal just like standing in the bank. But the poster, it's got a really good one. It's a bunch of clocks, and it says the robbery should have taken 10 minutes. 4 hours later, the bank was like a circus sideshow. 8 hours later, it was the hottest thing on TV. 12 hours later, it was history, and it's all true. Like it's just so great that basically the tagline is the poster. Like it's just and it's perfect way to sum up the entire movie. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. And like I said, like there's almost like a camaraderie that forms between all these people in this situation. And like you even see it at the end when they're about to get on they're about to get on the plane, and the one girl's like, Sal, I know like you're afraid of planes. She gives her his necklace, she gives him her necklace, which I was like, they're like almost like friends kind of, but they're scared to death obviously because they're being taken hostage.
It's like they kind of all go through it together.
Yeah. And Danielle also pointed out something that was that I thought was interesting, was like a lot of the movie, especially in the beginning, it's silent. Like it's literally just Al Pacino yelling.
Another thing in this, there is absolutely no musical score in this entire film at all.
Yeah.
There's no musical score.
And then when it kind of shifts between being outside and being in the bank, and as soon as it's outside, it's like madness. Like,
oh yeah,
like it's almost like one of those things where it's like, I can't hear Al Pacino quite loud enough, so I'm turning up my volume. And then as soon as they come outside, it's like I have to turn my volume down because it's just that crazy. And final thoughts. Sorry, real quick. So far, great film. I give it 5 stars out of 5 stars. Al Pacino, amazing. Didn't win an Oscar for this somehow. It actually only won one. I think it was for screenplay. So I think that's kind of criminal, but
absolutely. Okay, so I'll give my initial thoughts. So I think this is some of Al Pacino's best work, and obviously, some Johnny Cazalet's best work. But other than that, I really, I struggle to get through this one of Sidney Lumet's. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's just not like I am much more like Network is, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I echo a lot of what you said. It just doesn't grab me, the kind of way you said. So I would give it probably like a 2.5 out of 5. But I really, no, I'm just kidding. No, this movie is incredible.
Can never be serious.
No, this movie is incredible. I found myself sitting there. I watched it a couple days ago, and then with the show getting delayed from yesterday, I actually took today I watched it again for a second time. And I literally found myself today watching it. So that's like 3 times of what I've seen it total, because I've seen it back in the day with my mother. And I literally found myself watching it for the 3rd time in my life and then the 2nd time this week today. And I was just like, man, this movie moves. Like this movie just, it's 2 hours. We reviewed last week or 2 weeks ago, we reviewed Lockdown. That was a 2-hour movie. Felt like an 8-hour, train wreck. This movie was 2 hours and 4 minutes, and it really is almost 2 hours and 4 minutes. The credits on this movie are like 60 seconds long. Yeah. It just flies by. It flies at the speed of sound. Like, I was like, it's over? Like, I couldn't believe it. It's so good, the script. I'm so glad that it won for the script, but I'm so mad that it didn't win for everything else. I think this is easily, I still think that Network is my favorite of Sidney Lumet's. But this is absolutely my number 2. Maybe we'll end maybe we'll do 5 Sidney Lumet's and then we might rank them or something at the end. And who knows, maybe my answers will change because I haven't seen much of his filmography apart from, a handful.
I've only seen this and 12 Angry Men.
See, you've never seen Network or past like a few minutes. I've never seen 12 Angry Men.
Oh, okay.
So that's a review that I'll be like, what'd you think? And then you could be like, what'd you think for 12 Angry Men? Because we're definitely going to do those 2. I just love this. I love it so much. I was just watching it, and that was literally the main thing that hit me. I know I just keep saying the same thing over and over again, but because honestly, you hit a lot of the specific things that I completely agree with, and I think anybody that watched this, that really sat and watched this from start to end, could only come away thinking, you know what I mean? I don't really understand how anybody would not like this movie. I would say how a film fan or somebody who just enjoys watching movies, maybe if you're somebody who, isn't that into, sitting down and watch, like, oh, what's this one about? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not, if you don't have that level of, just like kind of you'll watch anything, I could see, it might be like, oh, what's this about? It's bank robbery or whatever. But if you give it like 20 minutes, you're going to be hooked. You're going to be completely hooked, because from the moment that he is the slight spoiler, and then we'll launch right into spoilers. But from the moment that, so Al Pacino brings his big rifle in a giant like present box to hide it. Yeah. And the moment he goes, all right, let's do that. Like you see him like psych up, and he goes to rip the gun out of the box, and the box like sticks to the gun, and he's like, and the thing to understand is this movie is not a comedy, but it's like, it's a comedy of errors. Like, it's just, it's exactly like the synopsis that TJ read. Every single thing that could go wrong goes wrong, and the movie treats it like the most serious situation that's ever happened. And it's real. Like, I don't, it's like, it's crazy to even think about that. But it's just so good and gripping, and like, you have no idea what's going to happen. right up until the very end of the movie when you really didn't, there's some things that start happening real fast that you really don't see coming.
Yeah.
And definitely some of the characters didn't see coming either.
Ooh,
Ooh, but yeah, it's just so good. It's an absolute 5 out of 5 any day of the week. This is a movie that I don't know if it's in my top 10 of all time. This might be one that, I think maybe the better movie is Network, but I think maybe this one might be a little more my favorite, or maybe not even my favorite, just more rewatchable. I don't really know. That's why I said it'll be interesting to kind of go down this Sidney Lumet rabbit hole.
Yeah, right.
And kind of see where we lie with watching
Yeah.
all these ones back to back.
Like you said,
but yeah, 5 out of 5.
When he's the very beginning when he walks in the bank and we'll kind of get into spoilers, kind of, I guess. Just kind of started from the beginning, basically. Is from where I want to start. Just like when because originally there's 3 guys, and the third guy walks in with them, Sonny and Sal, and he realizes he just can't do it. Like he's supposed to be. I don't know what he's supposed to be doing. He just can't.
He's supposed to handle Howard. He's supposed to handle the security guard. That was like his main thing.
Correct. And which I thought was just, again, what a way to kick off this thing that's supposed to go perfect, and it goes completely wrong. I mean, I think the first thing to go wrong was him not be able to get the gun out of the box, him like losing his mind trying to get the gun out of the box, which is very funny. To touch on like the police brutality thing of it, the thing I noticed actually the most probably, which I feel like maybe I just wasn't paying attention that much on the rewatch, was like how when they try to get the security guard out, they like the cops like swarm him. Like they immediately think it's him. Like they like don't like, they're not like, oh, like this is the hostage, He's wearing a guard's uniform, isn't he? I guess maybe you could think,
because he took his jacket off.
Right.
Which I think helped. I think the whole asthma thing helps with that. I think that was a very clever thing that they did, because clearly it was so that he could get the guard's jacket off, so that then the police would think it could be him. You know what I mean? So I think that was very intentional. I don't know, like we said, it's based on true events. I don't know if in the real world, if the guard really had, asthma or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a very good piece, that just he comes out and they just immediately swarm him, and they grab him, and they cuff him like immediately. And I'm sorry, what's his name? Moretti, right?
The guard?
No, the police.
Oh, the
guy?
The chief guy.
Yeah, Moretti. Yeah. His performance is just so like. He is just, there's like, he says at one point that there's like, he's like, you got 250 cops out here. Then the FBI shows up. Then even more backup shows up. Then there's all these people on the roof, all these people in fire escapes, a helicopter, and this one guy, he's trying to manage everything. So he's like losing his mind. He starts running over. He goes, let him go. It's the hostage. It's the hostage. And they're just like not even listening. Like, they're not even listening or paying attention. They're just cuffing him and pressing him up against the thing as this guy's, like, having a freaking asthma attack and is a hostage. Like...
Yeah, like Al Pacino's, like, on level of craziness in this movie is here, and then Charles Durning is probably, like, right here. Like, they're, like, neck and neck almost. Like, I don't think you can top Al Pacino as him bombasticness in this movie. Especially when...
Charles Durning gets close.
Yeah, he gets close.
Yeah.
And again, touching on the whole police brutality thing is apparently, I didn't even know this, that apparently, do you know what he's yelling out?
Attica.
Attica, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I didn't know that
Attica
was like a prison. I didn't know that was like a thing that happened where like 30, I think it was 39 prisoners died.
Yeah.
And
as he says in the movie, the guards and the police, they killed everyone, not even just the guilty people. They just killed everyone.
Yeah. And it's so weird to see this clear villain turning into this hero in front of the public's eye.
Yeah.
Obviously the cops, not a fan of Al Pacino's character, but the public.
I would say all of them except kind of Durning. Durning it's kind of that
Yeah.
understood respect of like, listen, man, none of this should have happened. Like the system, it's kind of the classic thing you see of like, the system should have taken better care of you. I'm sorry it didn't, but this is not the answer. This is not what you
Right.
should be doing
Yeah.
to correct the issue. Like that's where they fall apart from each other. But other than that, there's kind of a good respect. And then I think it's the FBI agents that come in, with Broderick and Lance Hendrickson. It's the FBI agents that come in and kind of strong arm the situation, kind of make
Right.
things worse, especially with what
Yeah.
happens at the end, because I'm sure Charles Durning did not want what happened at the end to happen.
no.
Absolutely not.
Because
which,
up until
we'll
that
get
point,
to.
there's a good relationship between
Absolutely.
at least the police chief Moretti and Al Pacino's character. And then Sal doesn't really, John Cazale doesn't really. He's in the bank the entire time. Like literally the entire time. Like he never comes out. Al Pacino's character is the
That's another thing that I felt
unquestioned leader.
yeah, that's another thing I felt was kind of another kind of war thing with Sal was he's like in the trenches. Like Sal the whole time, Sal never goes out in the street. The only thing he ever sees of the outside world is the tiny TV that they have.
Right.
Where he gets very offended because he says, there you have it, two homosexuals holding up a bank.
Yeah.
And Sal's like, they just said it right on the air, two homosexuals. And Sonny was like, all right, what? And he's like, I'm not a homosexual. And he's like, what do you want me to call them and say, what are you talking? Like,
yeah.
but like other than that, like Sal is literally, he is like either on the ground like this or in the chair, like just like ready to, whatever. He, like I said earlier, like he tells Sonny, you know what I mean? He's like, I'm there. So if you need me to start dropping bodies, like I'll do it. And it's like,
Yeah.
clearly something fucked him up.
Something happened.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's cool that there's different characters that kind of embody the different things that the movie is trying to.
Like, and that kind of leads into the whole homosexual aspect of the movie. About midway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, you find out that Al Pacino's character is in fact gay. Because he says, call my wife. Like, I want my wife here. And they get this guy, what's his name?
Leon.
Leon. They get Leon there, who they married in secret. Well, Al Pacino's character does have a wife and 2 kids at home. They actually get Leon, who is in a hospital because he tried to kill himself. Because I guess Sonny just kind of went off the rails on him, basically. He just kind of left him. And they're talking on the phone, and he's yelling at Leon because the cops are listening. He's like, "Why are you letting the cops listen?" And it's from the point that the public finds out that Sonny's gay. It kind of like you see a turn where, as he's screaming Attica, they're all cheering, and now that they know he's gay, he's again more of a villain because as he's frisking the guys that are coming in into the bank, like the FBI agent, etc. They start whistling and hooting and hollering. You do get a community of gay people or homosexuals or whatever you want to call them cheering him on, but you have the majority of people, I feel like, kind of coming after him and coming after that character, which I thought was interesting. It's really like a flip of a switch that they like changed.
And then I think, kind of to jump ahead a little bit, like you just said, once they find out that he's gay, kind of the two different, communities forming on the streets. It's not personified any better than when they're driving at the end, through the, the, what do you call it? Not a motorcade, because it's not the president, but like the convoy or whatever you want to call it. You have literally one side of the street is saying, let him go. Like like they're saying, like, let him go. Like, saying to Sonny, let him go, like let the bank tellers go, let all those go. But then on the other side of the street, they're like, just let him go, like let it, like saying for Sonny. Like it's literally like the two sides of the street. One is throwing bottles and cans at the car that they're in because they're like, Sonny's, this disgusting, bank robber, now they, homosexual, like all this weird stuff, like. And so they're like, throw the book at him. But then you have the other side of the street that's like, we're rooting for you, Sonny. Like, don't worry. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, and like you said, before they found out that, he was a homosexual, everybody was just cheering for him. They were like, oh, this is a guy that we can all get behind. And then it was like, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Oh my God. Like they're like, kind of backstepped off of it. But yeah, so what are some other things you want to touch on before we wrap up?
What was the third thing we brought up? There's police brutality, homosexualism, and or being gay,
and like the war.
There's a third thing, the war. Right,
yeah.
Where he just say he's home from Vietnam, right?
Yeah, he says both of them are Vietnam vets, and then also there's another scene later where he's doing his will basically. Because he thinks if he doesn't make it out alive, because the head teller is also a notary.
A notary.
So she was this is again another kind of thing where it's like even the manager, even not even just the women bank tellers, like even the manager Mulvaney, he's like he gets pissed. He's like because he starts to, what does he have? He has diabetes, right? That's what they said. And he starts to have a reaction after Sonny orders them pizza, and I think he just ate kind of the wrong thing, and his diabetes starts flaring up.
They poisoned the pizza.
Yeah, and he's like, and Sylvia's like, no, he's got diabetes. They didn't poison the pizza. he's like, all right, whatever. But then like Mulvaney, who has kind of had the like, listen, I know you're just a kid in a bad situation, like you shouldn't have done this. Then he kind of has a moment where he snaps and he's like, you know what I really wish, Sonny, I wish you hadn't come in today. And then he uses the F word, and he kind of breaks a little bit. And this is somebody who, we've seen that like, he's like the manager, he's taking care of the women that work for him. Like it's a very 70s mindset in that way. But he's like, these are my girls that I got to protect them. I got to watch out for them. You know what I mean? He's got very much ownership over the bank, and he's very protective of everybody that works for him. And he's been kind of light on Sonny the whole movie. They had a nice moment where, he was like, you know a lot about bank stuff, like, because Sonny says he used to work at a bank. So he thought that's another thing that, he just thought he would know everything and it would just be a breeze and he would be out in 10 minutes. And I think that is one of my favorite moments of the movie is when the manager, when Mulvaney kind of snaps at him, and he's like, I just wish you wouldn't have come in today. Like, as buddy as I can be with you, like you're the one causing all of this. Like I understand that you're not going to hurt us. We've pretty much gotten past that point that like they understand Sonny is not going to start dropping bodies. Like,
oh no, yeah,
but like he's like, I get that you're a nice kid and that you're just kind of mixed up in this and that you shouldn't have done it and you shouldn't have done it, but you still did it. Like that's not like that's not going to change anything. Like you still did this to yourself and to all of us. And I think that's another great message of the movie is that it's like, the community's kind of rallying around him, some aren't, but most are. And it's like, Attica, but at the same time, it's like, but you can't just rob a bank. It's kind of the same thing that Moretti's relationship with him is about. It's like, listen, I understand that a lot of effed up shit has happened to you, but the answer is not taking 10 hostages and robbing a bank for $1,100. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's my thought. Do you want to touch on the end real quick?
Yeah, I'll probably just skip to the end.
Yeah.
So basically, they what ends up happening is Al Pacino's character makes the deal that for everything we get, you get a hostage back. So give me a limo, you get a hostage. Give me a jet to fly out of here to Algeria, you get a hostage, and then once we get on the plane, you get all the hostages, and then we take off and go to El Trio. So obviously they get the limo, so they leave a hostage. And basically there's an argument about who's going to drive the limo. So you have like a driver, I feel like, who brought the vehicle, and then you have the FBI agent, and then like the kind of head FBI guy. Mm-hmm. And the head FBI guy is like, this guy's going to drive you, like the FBI agent. And Al Pacino's character is like, no, I want the driver that brought the car here. Mm-hmm. And so kind of they're like, okay, fine. So the driver gets in the car, and kind of the FBI agent that gives like a look to the driver, and Al Pacino's like, nope, you're a cop.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're a cop. Like, no.
He's like, I don't want these games. Yeah, you don't think I know your games? Yeah. Like, he's like, no, I want him. I want him. But yeah.
And then so the other FBI agent gets in the car, drives him to the airport, and basically the entire time, John Cazale's character is like pointing the gun like at the FBI agent, and he's like, "Yo,
can you, right at his head, yeah."
Yeah, he's like, "Can you point it at the ceiling, like upwards, because like, if we go over a bump, it's gonna go off, and we don't want anything bad to happen." So basically, they arrive at the airport, and he probably tells Sal to do it about 3-4 times. Like he's on edge the entire time, and he's like, it's like up down, up down, up down. Mm-hmm. And so
Sal is also like sweating profusely. Like,
oh yeah,
like
I mean, the air conditioner was turned off, so I don't really blame him.
Well, that's true. But. Yeah, that's true. But even when they get into the car and stuff, like you could tell, like right. Sal is like mentally shutting down. Like his only mode is, I will shoot this man in the back of the head if he makes any move at all. Like, and that's the only thing that his brain can focus on.
Right. So they get to the airport, and they see the airplane pulling up, or the jet. They keep calling it a jet. It's definitely just like a regular
It's just an airplane, yeah.
And so basically they pull up, and, Sonny's like, "You ready, Sal? You ready?" And he's like, yeah, like he's afraid of flying, but he's like ready to get on the plane. And the head FBI agent comes up to the car. He's like, "There's your plane." Mm-hmm. And then he kind of gives a nod to the driver, which is the other FBI agent, and the FBI agent pulls like a gun. I guess he flips open like the handle.
Armrest. Like it's like the armrest of, like, if you picture like a car door, like kind of like the controls are up here, right? And then you have like that kind of armrest part. He like bashes that, and then like the armrest drops out. Yeah, and there's a gun there.
He pulls out a gun there, and the head FBI agent holds Al Pacino's character's gun up, like holds it still because he can reach it, because he's at the side window and Al Pacino's in the front, in the middle. And the other FBI agent shoots Sal in the head because he's holding the gun up. And then that's kind of how it ends there. I feel like they take him off, and then they arrest Sonny, and that's basically how it ends.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, it was great. I don't remember like my first reaction, but I was like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like, you don't really like. He probably wasn't supposed to be, like, obviously he went and did it, but I'm sure like if you go back, obviously like that character's like, maybe I'm not supposed to be here right now, because he's like you said, he's ready to drop bodies, but I feel like he's in his mind, he's playing tug of war. He's like, I don't want to do this, but at the same time, like, I'm gonna have to. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but
I'll say, in terms of the last scene, which really I hope, I see that we still have 5 people watching, so some people did leave, but I hope you guys.
My thing is all over. Nobody's chatted, right?
Nobody. I haven't seen anybody chat.
Okay, good. Because
I feel like people generally stop chatting with the reviews. I mean, I find that's fine. Like, unless it's like a really popular or like really recent movie, you know what I mean? People just sure, if people haven't seen it. But I mean, that's fine. Hopefully they'll start chatting again when we talk. We're going to touch a little bit on some War Machine news, but the look that basically they take, like TJ just said, they take Al Pacino out and they arrest him. They put him on the car, and you're basically, for the last like 2 minutes of the movie, you're basically looking at things happening, and then you cut back to Al Pacino watching what you are watching.
Right.
And it's basically just he's got his his chin is on the hood of the
On
car,
the car. Yeah.
and he sees the hostages go, and he's just like, what? Like, and also just his face in the car
Right.
when it all happens, he is just completely like the look of just, whew, like it just all the blood just drains from his face, and he just immediately goes, well, that was completely pointless.
Yeah.
Like he was like literally just in a split second, not even a split second, a nanosecond, he just it all ends. It's just okay, well, that's it. They got me. Like he was the whole time he was like, I think we might actually pull this off. I think we're going to pull this off. And then he was like, we did it. He literally says, Sal, can you believe it? We really did it. We really did it. And then 2 seconds later, everything just completely flipped, and he was like, my entire life is completely over. Like, that was it. And then just watching his face as he's watching the hostages go, and then you hear over the terminal, like, they're like, FBI agent Sheldon, please remain on the tarmac until the hostages are safely in the terminal. Like, they keep saying that. And then really the look on Al Pacino when, because he's just kind of in a daze, so he doesn't really know what happened to Sal. And then he sees them wheel Sal's body out on a gurney with no white sheet or anything, and he sees the bullet right between his eyes. Like, he is just gone. And he just the look on his face. And it's so subtle, but it's like 2 minutes. And just that shot, those shots of just Al Pacino's face, I think is some of the best in the entire movie. The fact that he did not win is a outrage. Like it is trying to absolutely look terrible. Yeah, I don't know, but it is an outrage that he did not win for this performance, because I think this is one of Al Pacino's absolute best performances of his entire career. Yeah. Absolutely hands down. Do you think? Are we done with spoilers? Do you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get rid of the spoiler warning.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't nominated.
Wasn't even nominated?
75. No, he definitely was.
So that would be the 76 Oscars.
Best actor in a leading. Yeah. Oh, 76. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I always do the year the movie came out. So who won? Jack Nicholson for Cuckoo's Nest. Okay.
I don't know.
I
don't even know if I would.
I don't know.
I think I would give it to... No, I think I would give it to Pacino over Nicholson. Yeah? I think I would. But, I mean, they're both great performances. I mean, if he lost to anybody, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, it was definitely... Was it nominated for Best Picture? Question mark?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good. And Sidney Lumet was nominated for directing. Okay, cool. Yeah, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest just swept that year. I mean, that's not surprising. So it's not too bad. But yeah, excellent movie. That'll do it for the review. Now we have about this says we have about 1 minute, but we actually had the intro going for like 4 minutes, so we have about 5 minutes here. We have some information coming from the man himself. Mr. Boom, you looking for this? Don Cheadle was on post-credit pod, or maybe he was doing some other interview that post-credit pod
doing interviews.
Picked up. I'm not really sure, but apparently it's coming straight from Don Cheadle. He was doing a bunch of interviews this week, and we have some information on Armor Wars and some information just on the future of the character of Rhodey. So the big thing that we will talk about right now is he basically, I don't know how Kevin Feige feels about this, but he just straight up said, War Machine, he shows up in Falcon and Winter Soldier, so that's pretty cool. And everybody was like, what? He what? And Don was like, oh, what did I say? Which is funny because Don Cheadle was the one that, stopped Mark Ruffalo from ruining all of Infinity War.
Dude.
Yeah, no, exactly. Dude, like, and Mark Ruffalo, I love how he grabs the chair and he's like, what? I mean,
that's one of the
what?
funniest clips.
Yeah. Because you think Don Cheadle's joking, but he's literally like, dude. dude, like, how the Marvel gods didn't sweep in and like hide that footage, I have no idea.
I don't know.
And kill that reporter.
Yeah, everybody dies.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, at the time, everybody's like, "Oh, come,"
Yeah.
you know. Oh boy.
But yeah, so what are your thoughts on that? And we are getting Don Cheadle showing up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now,
That's great.
what are your thoughts on that? But also, do you think that leaves the door open for other characters to appear in the series as well that we don't know about?
Yeah, why not?
Who
I
would you
actually
like
just
to see?
rewatched. In the series,
Who do you think fits that series?
Maybe we see. I just watched Civil War again. Zemo. Maybe we see him.
Well, he was in the
Possibility.
trailer.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he's the main.
I
He's
haven't
the
watched
main
the
villain.
trailer.
Oh,
I
okay,
haven't
yeah,
watched the trailer.
yeah.
Who else?
And then the other person I was thinking was like Agent 13. She's in it. She's in the trailer. She's
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of that boy band of superheroes. Like, but Team Cap kind of doesn't exist anymore.
No. Maybe Peggy's niece.
That's Agent 13. She's in the trailer. Crap. Who was even?
Which, by the way, rewatching Civil War.
Oh, I wouldn't mind
was
Hawkeye
also-
showing up.
Yeah, I was also a little weirded out that he made out with her niece.
And then
That was
went
kind
back
of weird.
and became her uncle.
Yeah, Danielle was like, "Ew, that's your uncle."
Yeah. I mean, granted,
I was like, "Oh yeah, I never thought
technically he wasn't her uncle at the time, or
Mm-hmm.
he didn't know that he was her uncle.
about that." Yeah, this is
I
like
don't know.
some. It was almost like Back to the Future level weird. Where
Oh
it's
yeah,
like-
a little bit, yeah.
yeah.
Endgame is similar to Back to the Future in more ways than one. There's some weirdness going on with some relatives in that movie. What's it called? Yeah, but I would say if I had to pick, somebody from that realm, because obviously, I don't think Natasha's showing up. I think she's a little preoccupied being dead.
Yeah.
So I would say out of that universe, I would love to see Hawkeye show up. I think maybe if you have Clint Barton maybe help out with something in Falcon and Winter Soldier, then maybe that leads into Hawkeye. Oh, duh. William Hurt. Thunderbolt Ross. I would, I think he would be a clear choice to show up in that. Also, get me Martin Freeman back into the MCU. Where the hell has Martin Freeman been? He hasn't shown up since Black Panther. I mean, he's apparently in Black Panther too, but put him in more than just Civil War and Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why he wasn't at the funeral scene in Endgame. You know what I mean? He dealt with Tony. He worked with Tony in Civil War. Like, I don't know. Put him in Doctor Strange too. Honestly, I think he would have fit well in WandaVision. Oh man. All right, let's talk about
Maybe that's the cameo.
Everett Ross. He's back. What's it called? No, real quick, and then we'll just say, what are your thoughts, real quick? He also said that Tony's death will heavily impact the storyline in Armor Wars. I mean, obviously, we figured that because Armor Wars is about somebody steals, the Iron Man tech. So what are your thoughts on that? Just, kind of the obvious that Tony's death will affect his best friend.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know anything about that storyline. I know it's a comic, right? It's not something they're coming up with. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know anything
it's really
about
good.
It.
And it'll lead to it'll lead to Riri Williams showing up as Ironheart too, which I think would be very cool. And then he didn't say anything about it, but I would love to see, obviously I would love to see Rhodey show up in Ironheart and be kind of a mentor to her, kind of taking over that role. I think that would be really great.
Right.
And then what was the last thing I was just going to say? Oh yeah. So there's been, fans wanting, after the return of Jimmy Woo in the latest WandaVision episode, there have been fans that have been clamoring for a Jimmy Woo Disney
spin-off.
Plus show, kind of like an X-Files in the MCU. Let me throw this to you because I just thought of it. What if it was a Martin Freeman and Randall Park show about Everett Ross and Jimmy Woo going around to, MCU X-Files type stuff about weird cases that they find? Would you watch that?
I'm down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. If they can work that out and make it be like, random Avengers or random heroes show up every once in a while, or even if they don't, you know what I mean? Just give me a show with, Jimmy Woo and, whoever else they want to throw in there.
Yeah.
I think that would be so funny. I just want more Randall Park in the MCU. I want more Randall Park. I want more Kobe Smulders. I want more Clark Gregg, and I want more Martin Freeman. I want more characters in suits yelling at heroes. Okay, so I think that'll do it for episode 29. And again, tune in next week. You don't want to miss next week. Episode 30, big guest with Jay Scotty, big review with Network. And this weekend, this Saturday at 8, we are going to be reviewing the next episode of WandaVision. So make sure to tune in to Planet Hero for that. Other than that, is there anything else you wanted to talk about or anything else we missed?
No, I think that does it.
All right, cool. Well, once again, as always, my name is Sean Monk. My Twitter handle is right down there at Paste Eating Yak. I think that'll do it. You want to close us out?
Yeah, I'm TJ Cornwell. Twitter, TJ_Cornwell, right below me. Tune in Saturday, 8 p.m., as Sean just said, and then next Tuesday, Jay Scotty. Network. Be there. We'll catch
Or
you
be square.
on Saturday. Or be square. Peace out.
Boom.